the clip against DuQuoin, so the 5-yard walk-off goes against the Wildcats. Knight tees it up, a good high end-over-end kick, this time taken on the 4 side by Marty Nutter. He brings it right back up the middle, across the 35, breaks the tackle at 40. He's down at the 45-yard line. Marty Nutter,
they're the only team this year that has as much foot speed as we do.
The Wildcats in that tough defense of 54 set up. Their linebackers are the key to their defense. They throw lots of people for loss. The handoff goes to Nutter. Nutter is hit at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be it. As he tried to come to the right side, and he is totally, and Monty Chastain at the tackle spots, and big Brian Neville at the center position. The pitch back goes to Nutter. He tries to cut the outside, gets a little bit of running room. He's across the 45 down to about the 47-yard line. A good conference play coming into this contest. O'Rourke has an eye back. Now he puts Mifflin in motion. Hands off first man through is Tim Davis. Davis has good yardage across the 50 to about the 49-yard line.
They stopped our powerful running game to only 7 yards.
There's Brian Mifflin's good, high, spiraling kick. It's going to hit at about the 24-yard line, takes an Indian bounce, and is going to be down at about the handle that powerful offensive line. A handoff goes right up the middle, maybe a yard. That's going to be for the Wildcats is Jim Morrison. Sets his offensive unit. Again, it's that wishbone behind Morrison. That's what the Wildcats do and do best. There's the fake pitch back. Morrison's going to keep it himself. He gets a little bit of running room, gets outside, and finally is hit and drilled out of bounds.
Weapons of the already powerful Leonard team.
Morrison with a 3rd and 5. Takes the handoff, flag on the play. He takes it himself, goes around the right end, and is cut down. Another good tackle by somebody.
To Jared Sobey over there on the defensive line.
So the Wildcats will punt it away. There's the kick by Morrison. It's a short, high kick. Hits it about the 46. Takes a Wildcat roll across the 50-yard line and is going to be down at a touchdown. The other in 1981 when DuQuoin won 14-0. So we've seen some defensive battles here. As O'Rourke drops back, he's looking to throw. He's being pressured, and he's going to be sacked back near the 35-yard line.
For a line, Jeff Denny with the quarterback sack that time. 2nd down and 20 for DuQuoin.
O'Rourke faced with a 2nd and 20. The wishbone behind him. He hands off first man through is Jim Peterson. He's up close to the 45 or the 40-yard.
Already get the sense, Gary, this is going to be another one of those defensive games where each team punts 10 or 15 times.
And it depends on the big break. Now flags are
especially hard right now for DuQuoin.
Full house backfield behind D. O'Rourke, Peterson, Nutter, and Davis. The handoff goes to Nutter. He has a little bit of running room across the 46. And a couple of Wildcats were able to jump on top. Brian Mifflin to do the punting, gets a good snap. He kicks it off the side of his foot. It's going to be high and short. It hits, takes a DuQuoin bounce.
Oh, and that's why they're so darn good.
Jim Morrison has his offense set. Of course, it's the wishbone behind him. He takes the snap, hands off second man through. The little man, Vincenzi. He gets a couple of yards up near the 40 or the 35. And
of course, the right defensive end that time.
Brian Craig this time splits wide to the near side of the field, lines up on the left. Morrison hands off again. It's Vincenzi, and he has nowhere to go. Marty Nutter is there to put a helmet right in his shoulders.
That tackle for the Indians was Jeremy Cornett. Big play here, 3rd down and 5.
Morrison takes the handoff, hands it off to the second man through, and he's going to be stopped short of a round, anchored by the big center, Brent Young, 5'11", 250 pounds. And Morrison will take it himself right across the middle, and it looks like he's going to have first down. Out of the ball game going to the Wildcats as they move it across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Morrison takes the snap, hands off second man through is Knight. Knight has some yardage across the 45, down at about the 47-yard line, a pickup of about 6. The wishbone again behind Morrison, Vincenzi, Campbell, and Knight. The handoff goes to the second man. No, Morrison keeps it. He's caught behind the line of scrimmage. He is able to. Morrison has his offense. The Indian crowd is on their feet, chanting defense. The pitch back goes to Vincenzi. He tries to go wide to the right. He is hit and struggles away. It looks like he's going to be stopped.
The 50 now, AJ will punt to the Indians, and Marty Nutter, that spells trouble. He's back there to return the punt.
Davis along with Nutter. A good high kick from Morrison.
Kick.
It's going to be a fair catch by Tim Davis. He drops the football. It rolls back towards the end zone. He picks it up and falls on it back around the 6-yard line. Up behind him, Peterson, Nutter, and Davis. The handoff goes to Peterson, the first man through. He gets a couple of yards out of
the ball.
O'Rourke has everybody in tight. Again, it's the wishbone behind him. He calls out the signals on a 2nd and 7 with under a minute to play in the opening quarter. It's Marty Nutter, or Tim Davis, excuse me, with the ball this time. He gets across.
So we're moving the ball. Okay, not real good, but good enough, I'd say.
On 3rd and 3, O'Rourke calls out the signals, takes the snap, hands off to the second man, Tim Davis. He's going to be up close to first down yardage, maybe a little bit short. Anna-Jonesboro did pick up 1 first down on their last possession. DuQuoin has it 4th and 1 at about the 15-yard line, and Brian Mifflin will set up at about the 5 to punt it away for the Indians. Mifflin gets a good snap. This time gets a good high kick, and it is going to be fair caught by the wide of the field. Brian Mifflin sets up out on him. Everybody else in tight. The wishbone goes to the first man through. The fullback is Campbell. He's across the 40 to
Gets penetration as Anna running right up the middle now against Quoin.
Pass right over the middle is caught and dropped. Brian Craig this time setting up on the near side.
It's a big play now, 3rd and 6.
Double splits this time for the Wildcats as Morrison takes the handoff, gives it to the first man through. He has some running room. Knight gets away from one man, is hit, and is going to be down at about the 30-yard line. And that big offensive line. Of course, Quoin has a big, strong defense to go up against them. As Morrison takes the handoff, goes to the second man through. That is good enough for a first down. As 10.5 minutes to play in this opening half. There is no score as Morrison calls out the signals. Hands off to the second man through this time. Vicenzi again, and he tries the left side.
That's 4 for 9.
Morrison calls out the signals. Hands off now, drops back to throw. He's looking downfield. It's a little pass out in the flats. That is dropped by Vicenzi.
Yard or two behind the tackles on the defensive line, and he was wide open that time, Gary. The ball was just a bit overthrown.
Morrison rolls out on the option, hands off to Vicenzi. He has some running room. He breaks the tackle, and he's across the 15 down close to the 10-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 11, Anna-Jonesboro. Morrison hands off, or no, keeps it. And he is going to be hit, maybe a yard gain at the most as he tried the left side. And as the receiver comes wide to the right, the near side of the field, Brian Mifflin sets up with him. Morrison takes the snap, hands off to Knight, the fullback. He is in, I believe, no official signal yet. We'll have to wait and see. Apparently he's going to be...
Bacon, egg, and cheese. A fresh baked biscuit that's made to please. With sizzling bacon and a farm fresh egg. Topped with cheese, that's the only way. Thank you, McDonald's, for a taste.
We're just about set. 3rd down and inches for a first down. 3rd down and a yard. Quoin has stopped up.
Anna.
Morrison has his offense set. The Quoin fans are on their feet. The handoff goes to the second man through. He's in. Touchdown for the Wildcats. That was number 5, John Vicenzi, who came through the right side and was just able to hold. Knight is set to kick it. There's the snap. It's good. The kick is up, and it is good. The Wildcats lead it 7-0 with 8:12 to play in the opening half.
Tuesday evenings, all you can eat at a very reasonable price. Now that you've heard our suggestion, next time, eat at Pasquale's Pizza and Pasta, Southtown Shopping Center, Quoin, your family-style Italian restaurant.
Knight's kickoff is short. Again, it's away from Nutter, taken by Davis on the far side of the field. He tries to stretch it out to the near side, fumbles the football, and the Wildcats have it. And you can hear the blue on the other side of the field as Davis was trying to get by one man. He was hit from behind. The ball. Quoin's defense can rise to the occasion, or whether they're going to let the Wildcats take care of them here. Keeper by Morrison right up the middle behind Young. He gets across the... Quoin had played good defense. The Wildcats finally punched it across. The handoff goes to Vicenzi this time, trying to cut back through the middle.
They're already on top 7-0 right now. 6.5 minutes to go in the first half.
The Quoin defense needs to stiffen now. The handoff again to Vicenzi, and he's going to be across the 20, the 15, and down at about right about the 15-yard line. Good enough for a Wildcat first down. Far right back, by no means out of this ball game, trailing 7-0. Midway through the second quarter, right up the middle, the ball carrier is Campbell, the fullback, and
by Vicenzi at 15 yards, it's been a killer.
Morrison takes the snap, hands off, first man through, nothing doing, trying to go right up the middle, but to the right, the near side of the field. Again, it's the wishbone behind Morrison. He takes the snap, hands off Vicenzi. He gets a little bit of running room inside the 10, down to about the 7-yard line. It's going to be short of a first down. They have to get just inside. Is actually set on about the 7-yard line. Morrison hands off, keeps it, and he is hit and going to be stopped, I believe, short of the first down. That may be the defensive play Quoin needed. Line, and it looks like Quoin might want to try to loosen it up a bit. They go to the I backfield with receivers split to each side. O'Rourke calls out the signals. First man through is Peterson, the fullback. He blows across the 6.
But we're playing against the super defense, so nothing comes easy.
This time it's the wishbone behind O'Rourke. Handoff goes to Marty Nutter. He struggles, fights, is up near the 14-yard line. Tim Davis lines up to wide to the left. Mifflin goes wide to the right, now comes back in motion. The handoff again to Peterson, and I don't believe he's going to have the first down. He's just across the 5th line. The Indians will go for it. They trail 7-0. O'Rourke will take it himself. Well, it's just going to depend on where they place it, Jeff, because once we pick inside the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, O'Rourke has an eye backfield behind him with Mifflin split wide to the right. He comes back in motion now. The pitch back goes to Marty Nutter to the right. He has some running room. There's a flag on the play. Nutter breaks the tackle. He's across the 30. Is going to be drugged down after about 11, 12-yard pickup. Mifflin this time comes wide to the left. The eye backfield behind O'Rourke. Mifflin now back in motion towards the line of scrimmage. Pitchback comes once again to the Marty Nutter, and he is not going to get much at all, maybe a yard or two at it on the left
so far, but we've not been blocking that well.
This time the handoff goes right up the middle to Tim Davis with it after they fake the pitch out. And Davis coming up the middle, gets a couple of yards up near the 15-yard line, and service has provided us with two
one for the fans
here tonight.
One ambulance for the fans.
High backfield behind O'Rourke. Mifflin split wide to the right. The pitchback comes to the near side of the field. Marty Nutter tries to getting some running room and then trying to get out of bounds, but can't do it. Fine, everybody is set, and we're just about set to start the second half of play. As Karn's kick goes deep, is taken by the man on the near side of the field, and he runs all the way to the far side of the field, gets a little bit of running room across the 30, and is going to be down at about the 31-yard line. Good stop that time by the Indians.
Backfield, 4 or 5 guys that are very good.
Everybody in tight. Morrison takes it himself right up the middle and breaks through a couple of people and is going to get up across the 35 in the backfield behind Morrison. The handoff goes to the second man through, and he is going to be up close to the 40-yard line near a Wildcat. Morrison calls out the signals. Long count, takes the snap, hands off to Vincenzi, and he squirts through a little crack in that Quoin defense and is able to just slap
it. Containing Anna, really, but they're just getting 3 and 4 yards every play, and you know that adds up.
This time it's Morrison again right up the middle. He has some running room. He gets hit. He's near the midfield stripe and is going to break across into Quoin territory at about the Indian 40.
A lot of second effort and a big gain for Anna.
Morrison again with the wishbone behind him. Takes the snap, hands off to the first man through. He bounces off one tackler and is going to have the first down on second effort across the 45. Was able to contain them for the most part, but right now they're starting to move. Hand off to the second man through out of the wishbone. Now the game, they took the timeout. Apparently he's okay because it stays in there. The handoff goes to Vincenzi off the right side. He has a little bit of running room and is across.
Those legs turning, and that's doing the bulk of the work right now for Anna. Second effort by the backs.
Second man through this time has nowhere to go as the handoff.
It's a good second effort, like I said, out of the running backs. And right now they'll kick. These guys manage to keep their legs moving. They run real hard. And there's a fantastic punt.
Morrison this time with the punt, and the Indians let it roll, and it goes to the end zone, out to the 20-yard line, so the Indians will get it for the first time this half at their own 20 after the punt into the end zone. Handoff goes to no one right now as D. O'Rourke is trapped in the backfield, I believe. Trish Greenwood, 30, comes into the ball game. He'll be the deep man in the eye along with Davis as Mifflin comes wide to the right. The handoff goes to Davis, the first man through out of the fullback spot. Peterson was lined up as a tight end. Backfield behind O'Rourke, Peterson, Nutter, and Davis, and now we have people jumping off sides. We'll see who it's going to go against. Apparently, as you said, need to move the ball up to the 30-yard line for a first down. Split backfield behind O'Rourke. Peterson sets up in the slot to the far side of the field. Handoff goes to Tim Davis, trying to come to the right side, and he has nowhere to go. Deep for the Wildcats. They'll set up at about midfield. Good snap and a good high end-over-end kick by Mifflin, taken by Knight at the 49-yard line. He gets across the midfield stripe and about the Quoin 45-yard field. Once again, it's that wishbone behind Jim Morrison. He calls out the signals, drops back. He's looking to throw, being pressured, gets away from one man, finally fires it downfield. Excellent catch from the tight end, Jeff Denny, over the shoulder catch down across the 30 to about the 29-yard line.
13 yards.
Again, Vincenzi, and he might have gotten a couple of yards out of it.
Not real fast or not real strong.
Morrison takes the handoff. This time it's Knight, the fullback. The first man threw out of that wishbone, and he's going to have first down yardage for the Wildcats. That's the big thing of the wishbone. They have those three men back there. You can go left, right, cross back, whatever. This time they go straight to the right with the Cincy. And the tight end, Denny, sets up split wide to the left. Barrett goes wide to the right. The handoff goes to the first man through out of the wishbone, Knight. And he is going to be stopped at about the line of scrimmage. This time it's Craig coming wide to the near side of the field. He lines up on the left. Morrison drops back. He wants to throw. He's under pressure. He's going to be sacked. Excellent defensive play that time by the Indians.
It didn't work.
The tee will be set at the 25-yard line, so Knight will attempt a 35-yarder. He's got the range. It's good. He just put the Wildcats on top 10-0 with a 35-yard line drive field goal that just cleared the upright. Here is a long end-over-end kick taken by Mifflin back around the 10-yard line. He comes to the far side of the near side of the field, breaks the tackle, gets by one man across the 25 down to about the 29-yard line. A nifty little piece of running from Brian Mifflin as he just set back and looked side of the field, the eye backfield behind O'Rourke. Nutter the deep man, Davis the up man. Now Mifflin comes in motion. It's an end around. They give it back to Mifflin. He has the speed. He tries to turn the corner and is not going to be able to do it. He looked like he might be able to get outside, but then he tried to cut.
Sweeps and off tackle plays. And they strung it outside that time, Gary.
Quoin comes up with a very unusual single setback, and O'Rourke rolls back looking to throw. He fires downfield. It's a wobbly pass underthrown, and Brian Mifflin trying to dive back at about the 45-yard line. Just couldn't get back to it. But that time, Quoin had third quarter. Again, they set up in that double slot to the right with Mifflin coming out split wide right. O'Rourke rolls out, wants to throw again. He's being pressured, finally gets away and fires it incomplete, trying to hit Jerry Whitley. This time the tight end coming across the middle. And in this ball game that late in the first half, Mifflin gets a good snap, gets a good high spiraling kick, drops Vincenti all the way back to about the 35-yard line. He gets a block and then gets nailed by Marty Nutter along with a couple of others at about we get set for this fourth and final quarter. Anna-Jonesboro on top, 10-0. They have the football at their own 43-yard line. Morrison hands off to the second man through. And Senzi once again on the left side. 35-yard field goal by Chad Knight has been the only scoring in this ball game. It's been a hard-fought battle. As the handoff this time goes to Knight, he stumbles, rolls, and falls, and this time they go out of the full house backfield. They put a man in the slot and go right up the middle to one of these split backs.
He's only carried 5 times for 16. That's partly because of the Anna-Jonesboro defense, which has played a super game. But give the Quoin's defense credit, too. They're playing pretty well.
Morrison will punt it away. It's a low line drive kick. Davis will pick it up at about the 8-yard line. Comes to the far side of the field. It's going to be dropped back inside the 10 as Davis tried to bring it to the sideline and couldn't get away. Split backfield behind O'Rourke, Nutter, and Greenwood. The handoff goes to Davis. A fumble on the play,
and Quoin
has recovered. And try to go to Davis this time with Peterson, Nutter, and Davis. Everybody in tight. The handoff goes to Peterson right up the middle, and he's going to get out close to the 10-yard line. A pickup of a
long runs. He's our main weapon right now. We have to go to Marty Nutter to move the ball.
He has not carried the ball in this half, I do not believe. He is the deep man in the eye this time. Here's the draw play to Nutter. He has a little bit of running room. Cuts to the outside across the 15, the 20, is going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. He does not get out of bounds, so the clock continues to run. It will stop for the first.
If they can get a couple more big plays here, we can make this thing pretty darn close.
O'Rourke calls out the signals. Hands off to the first man through out of the wishbone. That is going to be Tim Davis as Peterson is out on the sideline. Apparently trying to get back in it, trailing 10-0. The eye backfield, receiver split to each side this time, and I believe we're going to have a flag either wide to the right, eye backfield behind O'Rourke. Nutter is the deep man, Greenwood the up man, and now people are moving again, and the eye backfield behind O'Rourke. He takes the snap, pitches back to Marty Nutter. He's going to try the left side. He has a couple blockers in front of him. Hurdles one man, gets over his own man, and is going to have first down yardage and pick up a 7 or 8 for Marty Nutter. A good run that time to the left, the near side of the field. The eye backfield getting off, goes to Tim Davis. He breaks one. He's across the line. It's the 40-yard line to about the 40. And the Indians go back to the full house. Wishbone backfield. Mifflin split just a bit to the left. Hand off to the first man through is Jim Peterson back in the ball game. He is going to be close, but I believe field. Everybody in tight behind D.O. Rourke. He calls out the signals. Hands off Jim Peterson. The first man through is going to have first down yardage across the 45 to about the 46-yard line as the clock ticks to the Anna-Jonesboro on top, 10-0. Inside the 4-minute mark, and now we're going to have an offside penalty against the left side of the Quoin. Their own 40. This time a split backfield behind O'Rourke. He pitches back to Davis. Davis wanting to throw. He fires it crossed over to O'Rourke. He has the reception and is going to be tackled at about the 48-yard line. The Indians 48. A good play that time, although 10. As O'Rourke has an eye backfield behind him. Davis and Nutter takes the snap, pitches back. Marty Nutter tries the right side. He is going to be drugged down from behind at the 40-yard line, a loss of a couple of yards back, about 3.
A long runoff.
Wishbone behind O'Rourke. First man through, no.